When the autism community is included, historically speaking, the autistic community is excluded. Hi, it's Eve. Let's explore autistic history and the autism wars. This is I don't know. All right, this is part 126 of a series. Now we are landing in the year 2000, which is very pivotal in terms of legislation that gets passed that year in regards to autism. Now, in the late 90s, there was some activity in political action by these parent led autism organizations for legislation around autism, and those bills didn't get enacted or passed, but they were rolled up into this Children's Health Act of 2000, and that does get enacted. I believe October of that year, signed into law by President Bill Clinton. Now, in the 90s and early 2000s, there are parent founded autism organizations exploding all over the place, but there are some definite front runners who were able to get the most attention. And also, I believe in 1999, we had the creation of the Autism Coalition for Research and Education, or the ACRE, launched by Kevin Murray and some others. Also a parent-led organization, and theirs was created to give a national voice to these parents and parent advocates and these parent-led autism organizations, right? So their mission was to work with national, state, and local organizations that promoted autism research, education, and supportive services. The primary goal was to raise funds to accelerate biomedical and applied research and to work with existing organizations to find the cause, treatments, and cure for autism. And they also work to raise autism awareness. Now, ACRE was an attempt to bring peace to these warring sides of the autism community, and they were vicious towards each other. So this was an attempt to bring them all in together, create some cohesiveness, and use the power of all of them and their parent advocates to get attention to the cause, cure, and treatments that they wanted attention on for autism, and to get legislation introduced and passed. So this sort of truce between the organizations, it's a testy one, I'm pretty sure, and it doesn't last a really long time, but it is in place here in the year 2000, and they had a lot of power in this legislation that is created and enacted. To clarify, the ACRE gets merged into Autism Speaks during that great big launch and merger of these organizations. So it, in a way, does still exist, but it exists as a part of Autism Speaks. Now, it took until, I think it was 2007, for the big breakup to occur between this family that founded Autism Speaks. But we'll get to that going forward. You're going to hear a lot of these earlier names like Cure Autism Now, National Alliance for Autism Research and Education, the ACRE. These folks are going to get merged into Autism Speaks in about 2005 and 2006. So it's not that these organizations just went away, they got absorbed. So I'm going to share some of the autism legislation that was included in the Children's Health Act of 2000 that passed, and it's going to show a little bit about, how included these parent-founded organizations were in this process. Now, let's keep in mind and remember that autistics are very active in this period. We're just not being heard. There are allies too, and they are actively speaking or emailing or messaging with these organizations' leaders about their goals and language and everything around autism, and they're being pushed off, they're being silenced, they're being ignored or gaslighted. There is no autistic that is included in a meaningful manner in this process. They are most definitely keeping the autistics who could participate and would participate in a meaningful manner out. And they're keeping their parent-founded, parent-led autism organizations in. And now they are joining up in this coalition with the autism community organizations that they get conflict with, but in an attempt for this cohesiveness to get this legislation passed. And this legislation, the way they have it written, benefits all of them. But there's still no autistics included here in a meaningful manner. And in the legislation itself, these parent-led, parent-founded autism organizations are included, but there's no autistic. It's like we don't exist. It's here. Let me tell you. So before I share the parts of the bill, let me share a little bit again about the political action that Cure Autism now is happening or doing back in this era as well. It gives a little bit more detail, right? So it says Cure Autism now helped to introduce new and improve federal legislation that mandates over $40 million new dollars a year for biological research in autism, a national family physician education and awareness program, and a major new effort to study prevalence. That means they're going to count us, or children, autistic children. So endorsed by Cure Autism Now, the Autism Society of America, and National Alliance for Autism Research, combines and unites all past efforts and is the single most important piece of legislation ever proposed for autism. So, yeah, it's a big thing. And the key points, there's a couple key points. One of the things the Children's Health Act of 2000 did is it mandated the establishment of the Interagency Autism Coordinating Committee, or the IACC, to coordinate autism research and other initiatives within the Department of Health and Human Services. So the Children's Health Act of 2000 is also known as HR 4365. And Division A, Children's Health Title I, is the autism section, and it goes in through section 101 through section 105 and talks about the expansion, intensification, and coordination of activities of the National Institutes of Health with respect to research on autism. Talks about developmental disability surveillance and research programs. Also, information and education, plus the creation of the Interagency Autism Coordinating Committee, and Section 105 speaks to reporting to Congress. This bill also establishes centers of excellence for autism, and I'm going to share with you some more about this going forward through communications these organizations did, as well as their press releases. But specifically in this bill, which is available online, you can find it there to be read, the Children's Health Act of 2000 includes the creation of the Interagency Autism Coordinating Committee. And within that creation, it has Part 2 under membership, additional members. If determined appropriate by the secretary may appoint to the committee parents or legal guardians of individuals with autism or other pervasive developmental disorders and representatives of other governmental agencies that serve children with autism, such as the Department of Education. No Part C, including autistics, not included.